to call the April 21st regular meeting of the Board of Education to order with the pledge to the American flag.
There he is.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bucher.
Here.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Here.
Mr. Herrera.
Here.
Mrs. Hauk.
Here.
Ms. Mayville.
Here.
Mr. Zickert.
All right, are there any items on the agenda any members of the board would like to amend or move? Hearing none, do I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda of the regular meeting of the Board of Education for April 21st, 2025 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Mr. Herrera and Ms. Hauk. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Bucher.
Aye.
Ms. Mayville.
Aye. Quickly, before we move on to the next agenda item, I just wanted to take a second and recognize the anniversary of the 1967 Belvedere tornado. It's been 58 years today. We had 24 Belvedere residents who were killed in that tornado and 13 children who were students of District 100. So a lot of those families are still part of our community, still in town. So I'd just like to take a brief moment of silence to remember those victims and their families. Michael Bates, age 6, Cindy Day, age 9, Lawrence Decker, age 17, Cecilia Eakin, age 83, Kent Ferguson, age 12, Harold Gustafson, age 72, Pamela Haynes, age 14, Mary Jean Hamry, age 65, Craig Heiser, age 8, Barbara Johnson, age 10, Gilbert Julien, age 63, Bruce Lindley, age 13, Christine Lutzow, age 9, Sandra McLean, 21, Theodore Nelson, 15, David Wayne Poe, 13, Dwight David Shaw, 11, Timothy Smith, 17, Vicki Jo Smith, 9, Jack Stahl, 23, Johnny Tate, 6, Phyllis Van Brocklin, 13, Rebecca Vogelslang, 8, and Noreen White, 81. Thank you. At this time, with a little bit of sadness and a great deal of relief, I would ask for a motion and second to adjourn sine die.
I'll make a motion. Second.
So it was member Slang and member Herrera. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye.
Mr. Bucher.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk. And Ms. Mayville.
Aye. Motion carries.
Do we have a motion and a second to officially appoint Dr. Shug as temporary chair?
Oh, do I need to do
I
that?
think that'd be great.
I just.
Really? Just as that little extra.
All
part.
right, motion and a second to appoint Dr. Shug as temporary chair of the Board of Education.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
All right, Mr. Herrera.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Bucher.
Aye.
Ms. Mayville.
Aye. Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Meeting adjourned at 5:34 p.m. We will, after our closed session this evening, be recognizing our outgoing board members. However, at this time, I would like to invite our newly elected Board of Education to come to the front of the room to take your oath of office.
So are we on? Like on?
No,
After this.
after this part, yes, and then you just,
But
yes,
we hope you'll stay
but you're gonna stay.
for
Yes.
just a little bit.
I thought that was after the next one. All right.
Yeah.
I can have it.
All right.
Pass your sign.
You can do this together. It's kind of long, all right? So please repeat after me. I, insert your name, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of Belvedere Community Unit School District 100.
solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties of office as member of the Board of Education of the Community Unit School District 100
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the laws of the State of Illinois, to the best of my ability. I further swear that I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets.
I further swear that I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets.
I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board while respecting the privacy of students and employees.
I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board while respecting the privacy of students and employees.
I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting.
I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting.
I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
As part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility for my role in the equitable and quality education of every student in the school district.
As part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility for my role in the equitable and quality education of every student in the school district.
I shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for Belvedere Community Unit School District 100.
I shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for Belvedere Community Unit School District 100.
I shall assist in establishing a structure and an environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework.
I shall assist in establishing a structure and an environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework.
I shall strive to ensure a continuous assessment of student achievement and all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with state law.
I shall strive to ensure a continuous assessment of student achievement in all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with state law.
I shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students and our community schools to advance the vision for Belvedere Community Unit School District 100.
I shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students and our community schools to advance the vision of Belvedere Community Unit School District 100.
And I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district toward fulfilling the vision the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development.
I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district towards fulfilling the vision the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development.
Congratulations and welcome to the District 100 Board of Education. You may come and be seated at the table. We will get rearranged in closed session. Just sit wherever you would like for now. It is now 5:39 p.m. and I would like to call the April 21st regular meeting of the Board of Education to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Here.
Mr. Herrera.
Here.
Mr. Hemke.
Here.
Mrs. Howe.
Here.
Mr. Mueller.
Here.
Mr. Piggy.
Here.
And Mrs. Young.
Here. At this time, the nominations for the office of President of the Board of Education are open. Does anyone have a nomination for board president?
I would like to nominate Mr. Herrera. He has a ton of experience up here, 6, 8 years, I don't remember, but he's been around a while. He is very kind, hardworking, thoughtful board member, and I think he would make a great president.
Mr. Herrera, do you accept that nomination?
I do. Thank you, Holly.
Is there a second for that nomination?
I would like to second that motion.
All right. Holly Hauk nominated Jorge Herrera, and member Jeff Diestelmeyer seconded that nomination. Are there any other nominations for president? Hearing none, do I have a motion and a second to close the nominations for the office of president?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All right. Member Diestelmeyer made a motion, and member Hauk seconded the motion to close the nominations for the office of president. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
And Mr. Herrera.
Hi.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to vote for myself or
You're
not.
still good. You're not voting for yourself yet. So,
Okay.
do I have a motion and a second to accept the nomination of member Herrera as a president for a 2-year term?
We do it.
No, I need another motion.
I'll make a motion.
And a second.
Second.
Was that? All right. All right. I love it. Member Young, seconded by member Piggy, to accept the motion of member Herrera as president to a 2-year term. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Young.
Aye. Yeah.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
And Mr. Herrera.
Yes, you can still vote for yourself.
Okay, great.
And
Perfect.
it is now my pleasure to declare member Herrera as your newly elected board president for a 2-year term. Congratulations, Mr. Herrera.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite member Herrera to take his seat next to me. And although I enjoyed my time serving as board president, I am very happy to turn this meeting back over to you, Mr. Herrera.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to have the election of vice president. So the nominations for the office of vice president of the Board of Education are open. Do we have a motion for a nominee?
If I could, I would like to nominate Mr. Dieselmeyer. He hasn't been with us that long, but in the time he's been here, he has been a very great board member, and I know he has a lot of board experience outside of here too. So if he would like to be vice president, I think he'd make a great one.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Perfect. Any other nominations for the office of vice president? Seeing none. If not, do I have a motion and a second to close the nominations for the office of vice president?
I so move.
It's gonna take me a little bit to learn your voices. Thank you.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. So, member Hopke made a motion and member Mueller seconded the motion to close the nominations for the office of vice president. Roll call.
All right, Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
And Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay. Do we have a motion and a second to accept the nomination of member Dieselmeyer as vice president for a 2-year term?
I'll motion.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by member member Young and seconded by Member Hauk. Discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Young,
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk,
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer,
Aye.
Mr. Piggy,
Aye.
Mr. Hemke,
Aye.
Mr. Mueller,
Aye.
and Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. It is my pleasure to declare Member Diesema as your newly elected Vice President for a 2-year term. Congratulations. Okay, at this time, the nomination for the office of Secretary of the Board of Education are open. Do we have any nominations?
I would like to nominate Mrs. Hauk. She has been a member of the board for a number of years. She's had a great deal of involvement in the school system, the community. She's been a really welcome voice on this board, and we would greatly appreciate it if she would be secretary.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any other nominations for the office of secretary? If not, do I have a motion and a second to close the nominations for the office of secretary?
I'll motion.
Okay,
I second.
all right. Okay, Member Young made a motion and Member Homke seconded the motion to close the nominations for the office of secretary. Roll call?
Mrs. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Hemke,
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer,
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk,
Aye.
Mr. Piggy,
Aye.
Mr. Mueller,
Aye.
and Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, do we have a motion and a second to accept the nomination of Member Hauk as a secretary for the 2-year term?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Member Dieselmeyer, seconded by Member Piggy. Discussion? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Dieselmeyer,
Aye.
Mr. Piggy,
Aye.
Mr. Mueller,
Aye.
Mr. Hemke,
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk,
Aye.
Mrs. Young,
Aye.
and Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. It is my pleasure to declare Member Hauk as our newly elected secretary for a 2-year term. Okay, at this time, keeping with best practices, regular meetings of the Board of Education are held the third Monday of each month unless otherwise dictated by holidays, with those being the third Tuesday of each month and the first Thursday of the month unless otherwise noted as tentative special meetings. Do I have a motion and a second to keep the current day, time, and location of the regular meetings of the Board of Education?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. Okay, Member Dieselmeyer and Member Hemke seconded the motion to keep the regular meetings of the Board of Education on the third Monday of each month unless otherwise dictated by holidays at 5:30 PM at the central office. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call?
Mr. Dieselmeyer,
Aye.
Mr. Hemke,
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk,
Aye.
Mrs. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Mueller,
Aye.
Mr. Piggy,
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay. Motion passes. Okay, do we have a motion and a second to adopt all present and existing policies, handbooks, salary schedules, agreements, contract obligations, legal counsel, and designated depository institutions heretofore approved by the district and Board of Education?
So moved.
Okay. Member Hauk, do we have a second?
Second.
Member Young? Okay. Member Hauk and Member Young seconded the motion to adopt all present and existing policies, handbooks, salary schedules, agreements, contract obligations, legal counsel, and designated depository institutions heretofore approved by the district and the Board of Education. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, moving on. Do we have a motion and a second to go into closed executive session regarding Section 2, Heading C, exceptions, sub number 1 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees and student disciplinary cases. A motion?
So moved.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Member Dieselmeyer made the motion, second by Mr. Hemke.
Member Piggy.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
second by Peggy?
He made the motion.
Oh,
He made the-
yeah, okay. Okay, Member Piggy made the motion, seconded by Member
Hemke.
Hemke. Okay.
Was it Hemke? Sorry.
Bear with us, trying to get and learn everybody's voices while we're up here. All right. Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, we will now close for a closed executive session. We'll now open for closed executive session, if you will.
And I will just again say we will be recognizing our outgoing board members immediately following that closed executive session, as well as having time for public input. So thank you for your patience as we convene in closed session. This for the kids, and that would just be easy. It just. You can just give them the whole envelope that it says.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Hello.
Paula Butler from Mayhem Elementary. We're so glad to be here. We belong to a group, dance group, Mexican group called Amor a Mi Tierra. And we're based, a lot of students from the district. We have a lot of students from Washington, a lot of students from Mayhem. And we want to bring a lot from our roots and our family roots to this community. So please enjoy. We're gonna have two dances. The first one is called El Cerro de la Silla. That it means like the north part of Mexico in Monterrey. I don't know if you've ever been in Mexico. It's the north part. And the second one is called Los Viejitos, and it means the old people. So it means like even we're old, we still have fun. So please enjoy. This is with a lot of love. We're not professionals. We're just like a lot of students and teachers that we want to present this. Okay, thank you. Cuatro minutos para allá, para allá, para allá. Así volteamos así. Para allá, para allá. Tengan su espacio. We have some students and moms. Ahí, cuatro.
Hello.
Ready?
We're gonna do a picture, and we also have, Mr. Herrera has something for you here.
Thank you, Senora Butler, for bringing the students in and performing. We have something for them.
Los viejitos, thank
Will we get to take a picture?
Yes, is Ms. Hadley out in the hallway?
Vénganse otra vez la polka.
Oh, there's another dance.
Yes.
Oh, another?
Oh, there's more kids in the back. Oh, okay, all
Los
right.
viejitos, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Okay, all right.
Los viejitos. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Los viejitos que ahorita vienen ustedes.
Oh, I didn't know we had costume change.
We call it the old people, but even with
Oh, the old
we have fun.
Yes.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, this is good. This is good.
Vente, Alex, entonces. Acuérdense que están viejitos. ¿Ok? Vente aquí, Alex. Ready?
Thank you, thank you.
Yes. Wherever Miss Hadley is, she is going to take your picture. There she is. Thank you.
Okay. It is now 6:28, and we are out of closed executive session, and we will reconvene the regular meeting of the Board of Education. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Here.
Mr. Herrera.
Here.
Mr. Hemke.
Here.
Mrs. Hauk.
Here.
Mr. Mueller.
Here.
Mr. Piggy.
Here.
And Mrs. Young.
Here.
Before we start the regular board meeting of the Board of Education, as a reminder, all board members are expected to follow our approved meeting norms and board protocol. We will now have our district celebrations, and I would like to turn this portion of the meeting over to Dr. Shug.
I will go through that. Mr. Herrera, did you want to ask about moving item M to immediately following district celebrations?
Are we okay, folks, with moving item N, which is public hearing of visitors, if you will, right after district celebrations? We're okay? Good.
Fantastic. All right, then we will go ahead and begin our district celebrations. At this time, I would like to recognize our outgoing board members for their time here in District 100. Is Mr. Booker still out there? Yes, come on up, Mr. Booker. We would like to extend, I'll wait for you. Okay, you, up here. We would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Mr. Tom Booker for his dedicated service on the Board of Education since April of 2021. As a member of the Business Services Committee, Tom has been a strong advocate for accountability, transparency, and most importantly, our students. His contributions to the district's strategic planning process have helped shape a clear vision for the future. We deeply appreciate his commitment, and we know that he has made a lasting impact on District 100 during his time on the board. Thank you. I'll make sure I'm giving you the right one. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Booker.
Thank you.
And Carla Mayo. We would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Carla Mayo for her dedicated service on the Board of Education since April of 2013. Throughout her tenure, Carla served as Vice President from 2013 to 2015 and as President from 2019 to 2021, and again from August 2024 to the present. She has contributed her leadership and insight through her work on the Educational Services Committee and the Facilities and Long-Term Planning Committee. Carla has been a steadfast advocate for long-term planning, fiscal responsibility, and the success of both students and staff. Her impact on District 100 has been significant and lasting, and she will truly be missed by many staff, students, and community members. Thank you, Carla. Matt Zickert was not able to be here tonight, and we will recognize him for his years of dedicated service to District 100 at May's board meeting. Coming up. All right. And we also have some board shout outs. Michelle McGuire, Jessica Romano, and Julia Zachary from Caledonia. Do we have any of them present? I do know.
Okay.
Thank you. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of wonderful educators, but your team stands out. They were so kind and welcoming to me. I was impressed with each teacher's skill sets. Each of them were very open-minded and willing to try each new strategy offered. I know in education we often don't hear enough of the positive, so I just wanted to share with you that I was especially impressed with your teachers. I really can't say enough positive things about my time at Caledonia. This was submitted by an educational consultant for the district. Renee Balabusco Lisa Johnson and Linda Smith from Washington Academy. I would like to nominate Renee, Lisa, and Linda for a school board shout-out in recognition of their dedication and impact on our school community at Washington Academy. Having served in the district for many years, Renee, Lisa, and Linda are true team players who consistently go above and beyond to support both students and staff. They have a remarkable ability to connect with and support some of our most challenging students, demonstrating patience, empathy, and perseverance. Their commitment to creating a positive and inclusive learning environment has made a lasting difference in the lives of many. We are truly grateful for Renee, Lisa, and Linda's hard work, and their contributions deserve to be celebrated. And Jeremy Frew from SMS. I want to shout out Mr. Frew because he is always making sure we understand the math material he teaches us by giving us great explanations and making sure we get help if we don't understand it. He is by far one of the best math teachers I have ever had, and he has helped me grow so much in my 7th grade school year. He makes sure we understand everything before giving us tests, and he makes it fun at the same time. He is such a great, funny, trustworthy teacher.
Is anybody here tonight that we just recognized? No?
No.
No? Okay. All right. We'll get to that. We'll get them. It's a gift of appreciation later. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Shug. At this point, then, we will move on to hearing of visitors. First up, we have Guy Reffitt, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, from Waste Management.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. My name is Guy Reffitt, and I am Waste Management's account executive assigned to the Belvedere School District. This year, we have twice submitted bids to continue as your partner for your waste removal needs. As Advanced Disposal and now Waste Management, we have serviced your district since 2013. Although we were told we submitted the most economical bid, I was told the committee was planning to recommend Lakeshore Recycling and Disposal as your new vendor. I am here to explain tonight why we think that decision is not in the best interest of the Belvedere School District. The bid specifications were for a 3-year agreement, and Waste Management's pricing came out to a grand total of $271,770, compared to LRS's bid of $321,031, amounting to a savings of slightly more than $49,000 over the course of the 3-year contract. While LRS specified a flat rate for the 3-year contract, WM presented pricing that included a maximum 5-year increase in year 2 and 3. Those increases are included in the comparative totals that I just gave you. I was told that the primary reason that LRS's recommendation by the committee was because WM did not submit a stable contract price. As I have outlined, we did, and we were transparent about any increases in the yearly cost. Further, we were not asked to submit a bid with no increases. The bid document specified that any bid with more than a 5% yearly increase would be rejected. I believe that we have provided safe and reliable service to the district for nearly 15 years and have now presented the most thorough, transparent, and economical plan to continue our partnership with the district. I appreciate your consideration and welcome any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reffitt. I should have mentioned this before, but I'm new to this role, and so I'll just mention it now. As a reminder, any person appearing before the board is expected to address the board only at the appropriate time and follow the directives of the board president to maintain order and decorum, identify oneself, limit comments to 3 minutes, and conduct oneself with respect and civility towards others, and otherwise abide by board policy 8:30, visitors to and conduct on school property. Next visitor is Sarah Brenner. Sarah, you may approach them.
Good evening, District 100 Board of Education. Tonight, it is my great honor and privilege to recognize someone whose impact on Belvedere School District 100 is not only significant but lasting. A dedicated leader, advocate, and champion for our students, staff, and community, and her name is Mrs. Carla Mayville. Over the past 12 years, Carla has served on the Board of Education with unwavering commitment, thoughtful leadership, and a heartfelt full of passion for public education. Her service has truly shaped the direction and success of this district in powerful and meaningful ways. Through her steady leadership, including her time as board president, we've witnessed transformational change and enduring progress. Under her guidance, we've expanded and refined our K-12 dual language programming, ensuring that our students are more equipped than ever to thrive in global society. She also was instrumental in our early childhood expansion, laying a strong foundation for more of our youngest learners. Thanks to her vision and collaboration, the facilities master plan became more than a blueprint. It became a guide to help the district ensure safe, modern, and welcoming learning environments for all of our students. She also helped to lead the charge in implementing the innovative strategies like high school scheduling improvements and win time, giving students more personalized learning opportunities and support during the school day. And when the world faced uncertainty during COVID-19, her driven and thoughtful leadership helped us navigate those uncharted waters. She worked hand in hand with the health department, superintendent, administration, the board, and community partners, always pushing for what was best for students, especially the return to in-person learning. Following difficult moments like the closure of Kishwaukee Elementary, she played a key role in mending the community relations and reestablishing trust in the board. Her care for people was always evident, as a prime example being the opening of the health clinic in Belvedere also, which now serves staff and their families. Throughout her tenure, she helped hire and extend contracts of 2 superintendents, bringing stability and strong leadership to the district. She supported the hiring of countless staff members whose work continues to elevate in our schools. She championed partnerships with Rock Valley College, including Running Start and the Technology Center, and expanding for our students far beyond the classrooms. And without a doubt, she mentored me as a board member and board president, for which I am truly grateful. And beyond all of these accomplishments, Carla brought something that can't be captured on paper. She brought drive, high expectations, integrity, and deep-rooted belief in the potential of each child in this district. Carla, on behalf of the Belvedere School District stakeholders you serve, the students, staff, families, and community, thank you. Thank you for your time, your energy, your leadership, and your heart. You leave behind a legacy of progress, hope, and a stronger Belvedere for generations to come. We are so grateful for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Brenner. Okay, next on the list is Jennifer Hunter.
Hello, my name is Jen Hunter, current District 100 teacher of 20 plus years and the current special education team leader at Belvedere Central Middle School. I'm here tonight to discuss my concerns about the continuum of services offered in District 100 middle schools. I became a special education teacher in 1992. When I was about to finish my student teaching, I remember talking to my cooperating teacher about being nervous to interview for potential teaching positions, and in particular how to respond to the question, can you explain your teaching philosophy? I was not quite 22 years old and brand new to a career I had come to love even more than I expected. My cooperating teacher told me not to worry about it, I could borrow hers. Her philosophy was simple, if they need it, they get it. I'm 54 now, and that lesson has seen me through many highs and lows over the years, because special education at the end of the day should always be, if they need it, they get it. And as a teacher and case manager, it is incumbent on me to do everything in my power and use all of the tools at my disposal to provide it. At times, it means that I have to use my voice to speak for those who can't speak for themselves, our precious students, and the parents who entrust their education to us. I believe this is one such situation. This past February, my team at Central was informed of the removal of instructional science and social studies programming, beginning with 6th grade during the 25-26 school year, and rolling up to 7th grade the following year, and then 8th grade the year after that. If you aren't familiar with the term, instructional classes are taught in small group settings with specialized instruction, modified curriculum, and slower pacing. I can speak for my entire team in telling you that we were shocked, as we have been told repeatedly this year that our special education department is following the directives set forth in last year's special education audit. One of these directives is the provision of a full continuum of services. The elimination of instructional classes removes a layer of that continuum, shrinking rather than expanding it. The special education audit includes at least 14 references to providing a full continuum of services. The audit also contains multiple mentions of transparency between leadership and certified staff. The decision to eliminate instructional science and social studies was made without any classroom visits or observations and without any conversations occurring between CO leadership and instructional teachers, students, or parents. When our team pushed back asking for data to support this decision, we were told that eliminating instructional science and social studies would be fine because students don't have disabilities in science and social studies. Obviously, we know that, and our concern lies in the fact that as content becomes increasingly more challenging and abstract, these students continue to have significant deficits in areas such as reading fluency and comprehension, basic math problem solving, expressive and receptive language, including vocabulary, and executive functioning. These students have severe learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities, and sometimes behavioral difficulties. The teachers who teach these classes are often required to create their own curriculum to meet the needs of the students they have in class at the time, while still teaching the grade level standards. They are truly gifted at this, and when students are ready to transition from an instructional setting into a co-taught one, they are ready to meet the challenges and experience success. I suspect that if conversations between CO leadership and building level leadership had occurred, we would have been able to let them know that the elimination of instructional science and social studies had already been attempted several years ago. It failed, which is why we once again began providing these classes. I feel confident that I am speaking not just for myself, but for many of my CMS colleagues as well as our counterparts at South Middle School in bringing these concerns to the board's attention. We are open to making changes or adjustments in programs, but ask that data would be collected and that we who know our students better than anyone be given the opportunity to be a part of the decisions which impact them. Least restrictive environment is meant to be the least restrictive placement in which a student can experience academic success. We as a district owe it to our students to provide them the full continuum of service as mandated by law and as designated by the special education audit paid for with thousands of taxpayer dollars. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mrs. Hunter. Anyone else that would like to make public comment?
Just hit that lady with my cane. My name's Lisa Whitcomb, and I live in the district. I don't have any kids here now, but, so I just wanted to say welcome to all the new board members. It's a big job, and you're about to drink out of a fire hose. But what you do is very, very important, and so I want to say the remarks that were just made by a teacher, while I understand there's a continuing debate about what's board work and what's staff work, you'll all find your own rhythm where that's concerned. But I would encourage you to read the special education audit that was done, right? It's a lot of pages, but if you're new to the board, you can't possibly know how your role as a board impacts and affects your ability to address those concerns that were just brought up until you read it. So I would encourage that to be the second thing that you read. The first thing you should read are the policies, right? Because there's no debate or dispute about the fact that as a board member, your responsibility is to ensure adherence to policy. You may only have one employee, the superintendent, and so you won't really get involved in things other than making sure that the vision of the board is followed. You've got to read the strategic plan and know the mission and vision and value statement, and read the policies, all the policies. There's a lot of them. But when parents, teachers, community members come and speak about items that relate to the law and audits that are completed and other things like the former speaker just mentioned, if you haven't read them, you won't know where to reference to ask hard questions. And I'm going to encourage you to ask hard questions. Ask hard questions of yourself as board members. Ask hard questions of the individuals who can best help you understand and interpret policy and best collectively make decisions. I'm the first one to say that we all have individual decisions, but your responsibility is then, after being made decisions as a corporate, you follow those decisions. We didn't always agree, you won't always agree, but you follow those decisions. But if you don't make informed decisions, you're cheating the people behind me. And you're cheating the people at home in the community. And you're, most importantly, potentially cheating kids in this district. If you're not familiar with policy, to help dictate and outline it. If you're not reading policy so that you're aware of how to implement it, and hold people accountable. I heard words like transparency and accountability. You can't possibly hold people accountable and expect transparency if you're not familiar with the information. So those questions that were just brought up, or those concerns that were just brought up, where does your role as a board member fit in? What policies are associated with that? Where is your role? Where is the place that you find what all of you said you wanted to do when you ran for election is to serve the community, right? You do that through policy, and you do that through accountability and transparency. And so, please, take that job seriously and start your reading when you get home.
Thank you, Mrs. Whipcomb, and thank you for your past experience as a board member. Anyone else?
Good evening, my name is Lori Wagner. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Lakeshore Recycling Systems. I just wanted to take a few moments of your time in regards to the waste and recycling RFP. Lakeshore Recycling Systems has offered an immense savings year over year when compared to Waste Management's previous pricing. We have also developed great relationships within the community. Many of your neighboring school districts have recently made the switch to LRS, including Elgin School District, Woodstock School District, Aurora School District, and Canelan School District, all within the last 2 years, and all of which are extremely pleased with our personalized service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wagner. Anyone else that would like to make public comment? Seeing none. Up next, we have our student council representatives from both high schools share what is happening in our District 100 schools. First up is Belvedere High School. Do we have somebody from Belvedere High School? Yeah. All right.
Hello, I'm Ruby. I'll be reading the April 2025 board report. Washington Academy. This past month at Washington Academy has been filled with growth, collaboration, and pride. We are proud to share that our student incident rates are the lowest they've been since 2010. A true testament to the positive culture within our school. That same dedication and focus were evident as our students demonstrated incredible perseverance while completing the Illinois Assessment of Readiness. Building on that momentum, our staff engaged in a powerful professional learning opportunity by partnering with Perry and Meehan Elementary School to conduct inter-building math walkthroughs, which proved to be both productive and meaningful. We couldn't be prouder of our students and staff who continue to make Washington Academy a place of excellence every day. Meehan Elementary School. I'm excited to share several updates from our school. Our K second graders students showed incredible support for their third, fifth grade peer during stage testing by creating colorful signs and lining the hallways to cheer them on as they took the Illinois Assessment of Readiness. This meant a lot to the students and helped boost morale during testing. Additionally, we received participation in math walkthroughs with Washington Academy, providing our teachers with a valuable opportunity to observe and learn from one another. The insight and strategies shared during the collaboration have been greatly appreciated and will be implemented in our classrooms moving forward. In other news, our PTO successfully completed its latest fundraiser, selling over $10,000 worth of butter braids. The fundraise will These funds will raise support student events and help fund improvements to our playground, ensuring a more enriching experience for our students. A huge thank you goes out to Mustangs families for their support and participation in this event. South Middle School. This past month has been a busy one for SMS students and staff. Students worked hard on their IAR state assessments right before spring break and have started the fourth quarter strong. Our drama club put on 4 outstanding performances of Little Mermaid Junior, and track season has begun with 123 7th and 8th grader students participating. Our art club is gearing for their art show later this month, and our garden club and tech club just started meeting. We are looking forward to our upcoming spring math assessments to see the growth and that staff see every day. Keep up the great work, Bucks, you rock. Belvedere High School. BHS has begun the fourth quarter on track to exceed its goals for this school year, which are the percentages of students with language services earning 6 credits and reducing non-classroom discipline referrals. Celebrations from this past month includes AP Lang students competing in the ethics competition at Northern Illinois University, where 2 of our teams finished 2nd and 4th. FFA also finished 2nd in the statewide dairy judging contest. We had our fourth quarter giveaway of bracelets to recognize Autism Awareness Day. We also celebrated Paraprofessional Day, School Librarian Day, and Assistant Principal Week. Everest High School has nothing to report this month.
Thank you, Ruby. All right, do we have somebody here? Do we have somebody here from Belvedere North High School? Dina? Okay. We will move on. All right. We will now have our board committee report, starting with the Business Services Committee meeting on April 1st. Mrs. Armstrong, do you have anything that you would like to highlight or share from the Business Services Committee meeting minutes?
I think they're contained in the minutes. There was a lot of discussion about the recycling and refuse and the exceptions that were part of that needed. So the committee considered all those when making the recommendation to go forward with LRS.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Armstrong. Does anybody have any questions for Mrs. Armstrong or myself? Okay. Moving on to Educational Services Committee meeting on April 2nd. Mrs. Hauk, Dr. Carson, or Dr. Johnson, do you have anything you would like to highlight or share from the Educational Services Committee minutes?
I do not.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Mrs. Hauk, Dr. Carson, or Dr. Johnson regarding those minutes? Okay. Seeing none? All right. Next on the agenda are our consent agenda items. Are there any items on the consent agenda any members of the board would like to take out for separate consideration? See none? Okay. Hear none. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items number 2 to 14 as presented?
Make the motion.
Okay. Member Dieselmeyer made a motion.
Second.
Member Hauk seconded the motion to approve the consent agenda items 2 through 17, as presented, 14, right? Any discussion? Okay, at this time, I would like to acknowledge the following donations. Multiple teacher appreciation gifts and a mural to be painted in the library in Caledonia. Thank you for that. Okay, thank you for those donations. Do we have roll call, please?
Yep, Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
And Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Okay. Next on the agenda are the roll call items roll call agenda items. First item being the refuge and recycling RFP. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the refuge and recycling RFP as presented?
So moved.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Member Peggy made the motion. Member Hauk seconded the motion to approve the refuge and recycling RFP as presented. Any discussion?
Mr. Winters, is there anything you wanted to clarify regarding that RFP?
Yeah, I guess I would say that when Mr. Redford spoke of the relationship between the district and Waste Management / Advance, made it sound like there were no issues. We had multiple issues, my biggest one being who's my rep. It took me over a month just to find out who I can talk to tell them that they weren't picking up garbage. We've had instances where we've put dumpsters on vacation trying to save money, and then we had Washington School, 2 weeks, we had garbage, not only in dumpsters, but in our dump trucks. And I went back and forth saying we have overflowing dumpsters, and they argued that, no, you don't, the driver was there. And I had to send pictures of our dump trucks full of garbage. The RFP that we put out was very specific about keeping the term of the contract for the price. Now, it's a 3-year contract with 2 1-year rollovers. Waste Management took exception to over 15 items in our RFP. LRS took 0 exceptions. They took our RFP as is and responded as is. I have no other contract. I've never been asked by any other vendor for them to go with a 3-year contract, guaranteed pricing, and for them to ask me to waive that, yet they can raise their fees on whatever they felt was necessary. 2 things that they selected on that. The first thing was, and I'm going to respond, this is their exact response to their exception. Contractor takes exception to prices remaining guaranteed for the period of the contract and request Waste Management be able to adjust pricing for unforeseen costs and the right to adjust an annual, and a right to assess an annual price increase. I'm going to ask you, what's the point of having a contract if I can't get guaranteed pricing? I need guaranteed pricing. I know where I need to be this year, next year, and the following year. So, and again, along with all the other exceptions, including, CPI. So, that's it. Any questions on that?
Any questions for Mr. Winters?
No, thank you for that.
I would just like to add, I was also at that business services meeting on April 1st. One thing I did learn there on that meeting was that between July 6, 2023 and December 2nd, 2024, our current provider had recorded about 365 contamination incidents, resulting in over 40,000 of additional charges, if you will. So, again, when we look at the proposal that we're looking at from Lakeshore, the difference here is that what we understand is that Lakeshore isn't looking at those exceptions or those ancillary fees that we were charged, that additional 40,000 that we are with our current provider. In the long run, that will save us money in the long run, right? From what we understand. Yes, there may be some ancillary fees, but at the end of the day, I think the goal of LRS is what we were looking at was to maintain 0% ancillary charges throughout the contract. That's a big difference from the current provider to what is being proposed for the new provider. So that stood out to me when we were discussing this in business services. Another point to look at, I mean, while there might be monthly basis cost for waste management might be slightly lower, in the long run, if we look at history, that could be higher for us. So as I look through this and as we discussed in business services, I do support the current proposal for LRS. Any more discussion, questions, or comments?
So the committee and the administration recommends?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Dusomeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Next roll call item, middle school literacy adoption. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the middle school literacy adoption as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Member Hauk made the motion. Member Hauk made the motion. Member Diesemeyer seconded the motion to approve the middle school literacy adoption as presented. Any discussion?
Dr. Johnson, is there anything you wanted to highlight in there?
Yeah, so this was for middle school. This is for the English Language Arts curriculum. Our curriculum cycle is that every 6 years, a different content area has their turn to be reviewed. So our English Language Arts teachers from middle school were able to meet with Dr. Ballant, our director of curriculum, and they were able to review data and research. They identified 7 different possible resources and went through like a vetting process. So they reviewed all of them. They utilized a rubric that they had developed. They sat through presentations, asked questions, and in the end narrowed down to HMH into literature. So the quote that is here is a 6-year quote. It includes the print and digital resources that our English Language Arts teachers have identified, as well as some professional development. And so this particular item went through business services as well as our ed services committees. And at that time, both were okay with moving forward with the proposal.
So you said it was teachers that narrowed it down and chose it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the way that it works is we pull representatives from whatever schools are impacted. And then they have a process of going back to any other teachers that either weren't there or couldn't participate, just to make sure that all the voices are heard. But yes, definitely this process is driven by that because they're in the classrooms and they know what they need. So the group did a really great job, and we're confident that this resource will really help drive them into the future.
Dr. Johnson. Any other questions for Dr. Johnson? Okay. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Dusomeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the BEA teacher request for additional sick days?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second? Okay, Member Dieselmeyer made the motion. Member Hemke seconded the motion to approve the BEA teacher request for additional sick days. Discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Dusomeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
And Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the ROE Student Support Specialist as presented? Discussion, I'm sorry, go ahead. You have a motion.
So,
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Member Hauk and made the motion. Member Peggy seconded the motion to approve the ROE Student Support Specialist as presented. Discussion, please. Seeing none? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk?
Aye.
Mr. Piggy?
Aye.
Mr. Hemke?
Aye.
Mrs. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Mueller?
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer?
Aye.
And Mr. Herrera?
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do we have a motion and a second to approve a career readiness facilitator as presented?
I so move.
Second.
Okay. Member Hemke made the motion. Member Hauk seconded the motion to approve a career readiness facilitator as presented. Discussion?
I just wanted to highlight, typically, a new job description would go through our Policy and Personnel Committee. We did not have a Policy and Personnel Committee this month. This is what we are bringing forward tonight is just a job description, not a hire, but this would enable us to post this position. Again, it's a new position for the district. However, the funding is going to come directly out of our Perkins grant funding. This is somebody who is going to be hands-on supporting our career and technical education program, falling under our Director of Student Services and Career Readiness. We think it's really going to lend great support to our work-based learning programs at the secondary level, which is an area where we're really looking to grow and expand. So that is why that is there.
So is it a kid contact position?
It is a kid contact position and an adult contact position. So there will be some opportunity for engagement directly with students, getting work placements and things like that, but also working with teachers to coordinate that. Dr. Carson?
And also with business partners too.
Oh, thank you.
So they would definitely play a role with identifying.
So not like classroom setting,
Not
but
classroom.
more central office setting?
Like extended learning, really. So it's out in the community. How can we get kids work-based experience? Whether that's
I
bringing
think it
team members in.
mentioned something about internships too. Do we have like internships already set
So
up?
we have a workplace experience class, and so this role would help go and identify partners that could provide those internship opportunities for our students.
So there's still a classroom teacher. This one coordinates with the community and brings it to the
Exactly,
kids.
exactly.
And is that different than what the career readiness, like Matt Fry's position does?
It is different from, well, and again, do you want to speak to that,
I
Dr.
think it
Carson?
complements the work
Yeah.
that Matt does, right? So Matt has done a lot of work with the teachers to develop the courses and the offerings that we have, to align them with our post-secondary partners, and then this is really we just need the extra resources to make those connections, to provide these internships and work-based learning opportunities for the students. So it's a complement to what Matt does. And that's why we would be able to use our Perkins funding for it, because it aligns with the purpose of those grants.
So it's all grant funded. That's
Yeah.
what, it's not costing us anything. So.
Is there an identified deficiency, or is this
It's just
to
we
try
have
to
very
be?
few internship opportunities that kids are able to take advantage of. So that's exactly what we're looking to do, is grow those opportunities for students. Absolutely.
So if I hear you correctly, Dr. Carson, this creates opportunities for members of the community, board members, to share their contacts on possible internships that may be available at
That'd be very welcomed. Yeah.
certain companies and otherwise and likewise. So yes, I saw this. I was really glad to see this career readiness facilitator. I'll speak for myself, and I'm sure other board members would be pleased to get acquainted with when the new hire comes on place at that time, to make introductions, introduce ourselves, to introduce the business community and opportunities that may be out there. So definitely want to give our kiddos here in district opportunities to be out there and find internships or other careers that may be applicable. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Thank you. Any other questions, comments for Dr. Carson? Okay, seeing none, roll call please.
Mr. Hemke?
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk?
Aye.
Mr. Piggy?
Aye.
Mr. Mueller?
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer?
Aye.
Mrs. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Herrera?
Aye. Okay, do we have a motion and a second to approve the 2025 through 2026 administrative contract for 12-month Director of Special Education?
Make the motion.
I second.
Okay. Okay, Member Dieselmeyer made the motion and Member Gee seconded the motion to approve the 2025 through 2026 administrative contract for a 12-month Director of Special Education for Brett Vosberg. Discussion, please? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes.
And we do have Mr. Vosberg here in the audience with us tonight. Andy came out to support our Build a Bike fundraiser as well. So we are very excited to welcome him to the team. He's going to be a fantastic contribution. He's a Belvedere resident, family here in Belvedere, and I think going to really be an asset to our special education program, which, as you can see, there's a lot of passion around our students with IEPs and a lot of work to be done there. So welcome, Brett. Anything you wanted to say?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brett. Welcome to the district. All right. Moving on, do we have a motion and a second to approve the 2025 through 2026 administrative contracts for 12-month bilingual supervisor?
So moved.
Second.
Second? Yeah. Okay. Member Hauk made the motion. Member Piggy seconded the motion to approve the 2025 through 2026 administrative contracts for 12-month bilingual services. Bilingual service. I'm sorry. Bilingual supervisor Consuelo Laredo. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay,
And
motion
we
passed.
also, I'm sorry, you can finish your statement first. And then I would say we also have Consuelo Laredo here this evening. Consuelo is currently serving as an assistant principal at Belvedere South Middle School, and there's no one sadder than Mr. Comer and the staff at South to see her leave that position. But we are very, very excited to have her in this new capacity. She's been a wonderful teacher for our district, a wonderful administrator for our district, and she will really bring a needed support in that bilingual supervisor role. Thank you and welcome to your new position, Consuelo. Anything you wanted to share?
No, I'm also very grateful for the opportunity. Like you mentioned, I've been with the district for 10 years. I started as a PR professional in a kindergarten classroom, an elementary school teacher, middle school teacher, and more recently as an administrator. So I'm very excited to reach more families, more students, more teachers. So I'm ready to go.
Thank you, Mrs. Loretto, and congratulations. All right, do we have a motion and a second to approve the 2025-2026 administrative contracts for 12-month principal administrators? Oh, I'm sorry, all administrators.
So moved.
Okay. I think Member Diesmeyer, second?
Second.
Okay. So, Member Hauk motioned and Member Dieselmeyer seconded the motion to approve the 2025-2026 administrative contracts for 12-month.
Sorry, no, it's mistake.
Okay, for all administrators. Discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Abstain.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Okay. Do we have a motion and a second to approve the 2025 through 2026 non-union employee group wage increase?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Member Hauk made the motion. Member Piggy seconded the motion to approve the 2025-2026 non-union group wage increase. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Young,
Hi.
and Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay. Motion passes. The following items have been added for discussion or will be coming up for the further review and/or possible action in the future. Background information has been provided, and the board may ask questions and/or request clarification at this time. Upcoming contracts and renewals?
I have nothing to share unless there's any questions.
Okay. I would now like to turn it over to the meeting over to Dr. Shark for administrative reports.
All right, I'm going to start with a superintendent's comments, and I'm going to quickly run through this. For new board members, it's typically some of the celebrations we have going on in the district. I just want to spend a few minutes highlighting some of the great things we have happening. Here we have our South Middle School Renaissance Awards. South Middle School awarded nearly 400 junior Renaissance students for significant achievement or growth related to academics, behavior, and punctuality. To celebrate them, students received extra snacks, and congratulations for their purple, silver, and gold junior Renaissance recipients. The Rotary Club of Belvedere has been working collaboratively with our National Honor Society, DECA, and Key Clubs, where they did a roadside cleanup. Despite the cold, rainy, really absolutely miserable day that was slated for them, they went out there, they did hard work, they made a difference, and we truly appreciate that connection with our local club. BHS had their annual Live Art Day, where students created original works of art throughout the day, while many classes visited to observe and learn. A really spectacular event. And we had our Student Leadership Award winners. Congratulations to all of our Student Leadership Award winners who were nominated by their staff or their school principal. These students were recognized at the Illinois Principals Association Student Leadership Breakfast last week, where they received a book and a certificate. Elementary School's Pizza Challenge. Mr. Winters, Mr. Herrera, Mrs. Armstrong, and I all had the opportunity to sample 11 pizzas crafted by our elementary students, and they were wild. But it was
Wildly delicious.
They were wildly delicious, some wildly spicy, lots of, I mean, some were like an inch thick on their toppings. It was really fantastic, again, to see the collaboration between Organic Life, our food service program, and our students. They had a fantastic time, and our winners were Austin and Gunner from Caledonia, and they win a pizza. Their pizza is on the menu at all of the schools. When is that going to happen, Mrs. Armstrong?
That will happen at all schools next month. And just for context, the name of the pizza was Into the Unknown. And when you want to hear about what they had on the pizza, mozzarella cheese, marinara sauce, pepperoni, red pepper, ham, onion, garlic, red pepper flakes, and chicken.
And it was delicious. It was delicious. That was definitely among the fewest toppings. I mean, I think they really selected, they refined. It was delicious. It really was.
It was.
One of the few without
good.
jalapenos.
It was hard.
It was.
There was a few spicy ones out there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, after you've had, 11 pizzas, it gets a little tricky to distinguish. A very fine palate, however, and I think we made the right decision. They did a great job. So yeah, if you have the opportunity, get out there and sample the Into the Unknown pizza. Highly recommend. And Kaylee Seamers was named Teacher of the Week at North High School for our 97 ZOKs Teacher of the Week program. She was nominated by Christy Starr. Christy's son, Gavin, is one of Kayla's students. So a fantastic recognition for Kayla. And that's all I've got for your superintendent update, unless you have any questions. It's just a smattering, a really quick overview of all the fantastic things we have going on in the district. Strategic plan update. I'm going to click in there and I'm going to ask Dr. Carson if you had anything you wanted to highlight for goal 1 for this month.
Yeah, so this last month we actually had, as you heard, our kids took IAR and ACT, so we're eager to see the results in the coming weeks here of how they did. Kudos to Dr. Vallant and our content leads, and appreciation to the board for approving the adoption of the materials for our middle school. So we now have K-8 new materials adopted that we'll be working to implement. Our high schools are working with their teachers to have all of them trained in SIOP, which is strategies to help language acquisition. So that work got started because of the designation they got, and working to get 100% of our teachers trained by the end of the summer. Our pre-K schools just completed their state audit, and so that's been a big event that they've been building up towards. And so kudos to Dr. Bauman and her early childhood staff and all the work they did to prepare for the audit. And again, we'll look forward to those results. And then in special education, there's all sorts of professional development that Dr. Fabianchek and the team are working on, from SEEDS to co-teaching to SLANT to FDA and BIPS and IEP writing. Did I get all of it?
Yes.
Yes, all right. So lots of professional development that her department are preparing. So that's some of the highlights from Goal 1.
Dr. Johnson, highlights from Goal 2?
Yes, Goal 2. So the conscious discipline representatives had come out to all 6 of our elementary buildings. And we're there to essentially take a look at what we have been trying to implement for the past year and a half to help support student behavior. And so very similar to academics, where they come in and look at what we're doing and teaching, they came in to look at the behavioral side. And they had a lot of really great reviews for all 6 of our elementary buildings. And then in one of your staff shout outs that was specifically highlighting the 3 teachers from Caledonia. That was a shout out from that actual organization. So really exciting to be parallel work with academics and behavior in terms of consultants coming out, telling us what we can do, what we can work on. So that was an exciting partnership. Related to 2B, we have been able to get a lot of students some additional counseling this year due to that Stronger Connections grant, where we have students that are receiving virtual counseling and in-person counseling to help support their mental health. So I'm excited that we're able to make those connections for the students. And then related to 2C, thank you earlier for your discussion in regards to the internships. We have 5 students that are completing an internship related to our IT department. So it's exciting that we're able to have some in-house, but also some that are outside partners as well. But that level of work, it's great to be able to have someone that can help facilitate to that detail. They'll be able to expand it much faster as Mr. Fry wears many, many hats. So I'm excited to see how extended learning opportunity grows with that new role. So thank you.
Goal 3 is the goal that I lead. And hopefully in your homes you received a postcard from D100 asking for your feedback on our communication. We are in the middle of a communication audit. I encourage you to respond to that survey feedback. Currently, we have well over 250 responses from adults in our community, and we are now actually over 900 responses from our students. So we are excited about that feedback, and we are also we completed our website audit. We are continuing to build our alumni network on our alumni Facebook page, and our first rebranding meeting will take place in May as we explore an official rebrand of the district over May, and that's really looking at that D100 logo as representative. We are, and this is a great opportunity, looking for a board member to sit on that rebrand team. We'd love to have you, so if you think that might be interesting to you, please let me know. And goal 4, Dr. Ady.
Okay, just a couple of things I'd like to highlight. Since the pandemic, we've struggled with sub-fill rates, but we're starting to truly bounce back from that now. Our sub-pool is well over 200 now, which is as big as it's been since before the pandemic, so that's good. More people are wanting to come back to work. And we have another 34 that are currently in the onboarding process. We had a really rough January and February with 5 different kinds of viruses that were floating around up there. But despite that, we're starting to bounce back now. March and April's been really strong. We're in the 80s, which we haven't seen in a long time. And because of January and February, we had to fill a lot more as well. I think we were close to 800 or 900 more to fill this year. And despite that, we're still 8% ahead of where we were last year at this time. So really happy about that. And our sub-coordinator, Olivia Ivan, has had a lot to do with that. She's really done a lot with that. Our sub-newsletter went out today. She's done a good job with that too. But overall, really happy with that.
Can I ask, you said it's 8% ahead of what it was last year, but what is that? What is our percentage?
Our fill rate right now is 79%.
79%?
Yep. And last year we ended up at 70%. So
it's better.
It is a lot better. I know
Still terrible.
It's still not super good, but it's. I mean, I believe that we could be in the 80s before the end of this year, which would be great. We haven't seen that since 2018, I think.
It's such a hard area to fill.
Yeah.
When they're unfilled, can I ask a question?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. When they're unfilled like that, does admin here, like central office admin, do they ever step in and rotate into the unfilled positions? Because I know that's really hard on the schools. And then they get as many teachers to sub as they can, and then they're pulling.
During COVID, when we were at like 60.
Oh, 50s.
50s,
Yeah.
we did. The
But
hard
not
part
since
is because
COVID?
of our roles have us facilitating meetings in which staff may be participating in. For example, it's hard to be like,
Yeah, and it's really hard when we pull staff for meetings, because then you have to try to fill a sub, and yeah, it's just, it's a bad, I mean, there's no way to fix it easily, I get that, I just wondered
There's
if that's.
definitely a balance to it.
But 79 is better than what we've been.
50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going back a few years, but.
And comparatively with other districts in the region, we're as good or better, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a bad thing everywhere. It's just, that's one of the things that I hear a lot as a community member is, from the teachers that get pulled, they don't get to do their specials, they don't get to do this, it's just, and there isn't an easy fix for it. But I just wondered what percentage, I mean, 8% better is good, but we're still.
And even with where we're at now, I mean, I hear a lot less complaints from the building administrators and teachers. I mean, that's how I know, because my phone's not ringing off the hook with that. So, still got a ways to go, but I mean, we're definitely trending in the right direction.
Right direction, for sure.
What is the onboarding process?
So Olivia brings them in. There's paperwork to fill out, and actually first, before even that, they do an interview, and then they just got a series of HR paperwork that they have to complete in order to be hired. So there's several. I mean, there's several things to it, but there's they ask them questions about what their interests are, what grade level they want to teach or they're more comfortable with. If there's certain buildings that they would rather sub into, and we try to honor that as well. But the onboarding process probably takes like up to a week, just because they got fingerprinted. There's a lot of other things that background checks and that type of thing too.
It's definitely better since it's in-house though than when it was so that's a huge improvement.
Yeah, that's another thing. We had an outsourced subs for a while too, and that was pretty rough.
Yeah.
I mean, the pandemic didn't help either, but I think staff like the personal touch of having our own people do it, and I think they feel more like they're a District 100 employee. So all of that really helps.
Well, and of note, we do our POSIP survey for staff and families, and the subs are their own group, and they report a high level of satisfaction. They were up ahead of a lot of our other areas in this last round
Like
of POSIP data.
96%, I think.
So feeling valued, and I think the HR department has done a really nice job of increasing that feeling of value. Everything from giving them a nice mug, right, to spending a day doing an orientation. So part of that onboarding process at certain times of the year is doing an orientation with them here. A lot has been done to make that more personalized, and that's really come out of that, the HR department really targeting this part of the strategic plan. So still more work to do, but it really is on the right track.
Can I ask how much is the sub rate?
It varies. I think our daily rate right now for that daily sub is 100, I think it's 140. And then we have a rate for long-term subs. I'm sorry, I'm on the spot now. I can't think of it right now. But it varies anywhere from 140 up to, I think, 185, depending on if you're retired or not retired. And then we also have a perma subs, and they make $33,000 a year. And for perma subs, we've got 2 perma subs in each high school, each middle school, and then 1 at each of the elementary schools. And yes, and early childhood too. Yeah. And that's helped a lot too. And they feel like they're part of the building that way too.
All right, lots of questions on goal 4 tonight.
It's okay.
That's great. What about goal 5? Mrs. Armstrong, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. So just a quick update. Goal 5, strategy 5A is really working on the robust operational plan. So as everyone is probably very much aware of, we've been working on a facilities master plan, and we have gotten the approval. We've moved forward with years 1 through 3. Actually secured the funding last month and closed on that a week ago today. So those health, life, safety amendments for the projects of essentially 21 million, we have those funds available to start working that project, which we're working with Nexus on those projects now. The other 10 million, the district transferred over from fund balance into capital projects. Those funds have been moved over, and we're developing that timeline. So that timeline will be coming to the board as we get those updates now that we have the performance contractors and the funding in place. Currently, we are starting to really take a comprehensive look at the emergency management plan and kind of defining what our emergency operation plan looks like. We've had one that's been in existence. We're trying to get that all in one place where people can access it very easily and make sure that it's up to date with technology changes and the way that we're doing business. So they've worked on that. And the tech team is really working on our cybersecurity plans. We've done phone server upgrades already done during spring break, and the Chromebooks for next year are being provisioned right now. The board approved those purchases as part of our refresh last month. Strategy 5B is really kind of my area of the financial and allocation side. We have started our allocations for next year, looking at where we have the need, where we're seeing populations pop in different areas. Special Ed is doing their review of their para-staffing and how the allocations work there. We approved budget amendments last year where we were, or last month, I apologize, where we had to record an additional $2.1 million that we got in grant funding, which that was a huge plus for us as we got a lot of those carryovers and some additional school improvement money that Dr. Johnson has been working really furiously at getting these amendments and these new grant funds distributed out. And we are never short of activities in Goal 5.
And that is it for the strategic plan, unless there's any other questions. And then Ms. Fabianchek has a special education Board of Education update. Again, was a hot topic this evening and something that we're really striving to implement. The special education audit that we had last year, and Ms. Fabianchek is on her, I think, 3rd update to the board on the progress towards the implementation of that audit.
Thank you. So just a brief update on the work of the department this year. So special education audit had multiple multi-year recommendations. And what we did this year is in order to prioritize and also make sure that we are aligned with the district strategic plan, specifically goals 1, 2, and 3. We worked with a number of committees and work groups. So I'm going to introduce that next. And this is just a visual we use to prioritize, to make sure that we start with what's essential to do. One of the committees that is a district-wide special education building leadership committee we have representation from every building, and those are the members of special education department. So something that was identified in the audit was that the district website did not have any information on special education department. So we have a web page right now, and we do include continuum of services, and there. I just want to add that while it's up and published, we are also adding different parent and community resources around special education topic. Next, I wanted to talk a little bit about, so I did link that webpage there. So as far as the continuum of services, it really outlines from least restrictive, meaning services provided within general education, to most restrictive, which would be a residential placement, which is very rare. So we heard some concerns around the continuum of special education services tonight, and I wanted to share that I really appreciate feedback from teachers. It's really important for us to take different steps in planning of professional development for middle school, and this is something that we continue to do. And most of all, to make sure that we are meeting individual needs of the students. So all these concerns and feedback is taken very seriously as we're planning different meetings and supports, which would include professional development for teachers. So moving on to some of the, so I just mentioned professional development, there were some additional recommendations. Right now, every building has a special education administrator, which in this case, it's assistant principals who serve as LEAs in IEP meetings and meetings for Section 504. And what was recommended is to provide training for them specifically to address different legal areas of special education and just procedural compliance pieces and different guidance documents. So this is something we've been providing monthly, and we called it seminars, and LEAs really provided us with some great feedback and really benefit from that. So that's ongoing. Something that is being developed that was also recommended was IEP writing. So I'm going to mention that again because as we plan a new teacher orientation and a SIP day for next year, that's going to be a kickoff for our department to provide that training for all of our special education staff. Something that we did complete this year is, and it aligns to goal 2, is functional behavior analysis and behavior plan work group. And so we completed both sessions, part 1 and part 2, that we developed internally. So we have internal trainers who are very knowledgeable. That means we don't have to use vendors for this type of training, and so far these are the numbers of our participants that we were able to train. We have a total of 167 certified staff members in special education. And so a couple of additional pieces are that we have social emotional and executive functions program for our students with behavioral and social emotional needs, and we have this program only at elementary level, and as students transition to middle school, what we needed to do is have another committee to develop the program at the middle school. So that has already started and it's ongoing. We have multiple meetings scheduled. Another one that is related to high school and our essential elements programs is the development of curriculum-based instruction process, and this is to look at our students who may be with us up to the age of 22, and they age out from special education services. So really developing partnerships in the community for post-secondary options for work. We know that for special education students, finding a permanent job may be difficult, so really working closely to address that. I already mentioned professional development, and so for next year, we'll basically have a department professional development plan where everything will be kind of shared with all the staff members, options linked for registration and things like that. And then finally, I already kind of touched on that we have planned for new teacher orientation in August SIP Day, and those are just some of the highlights that would continue. However, the workshop for IEP writing would be just something that's continuing throughout the school year. And those are some action steps so that we can continue to finalize them, share them with the Board of Education, and move on to next priority. And that concludes my update. Any questions?
I'm curious, since we were told to read the special education audit, where do we find that? Because I went on the website and I don't see it. Maybe I'm not looking right enough, but.
So we could provide the board with the update. It's a PDF document of 132 pages.
Just trying to do my due diligence. They told us to read it.
Yeah, we can absolutely.
I was going to
provide
ask the same
There you
thing.
go.
Yeah, we can absolutely provide that, and we'll have that at the new board member orientation, so that you will have access to it electronically as well as hard copy, because it's kind of hard to read something that big electronically, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, well, yes, we will get that to you.
Paperless.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Yeah, what's the DOTS plan?
Connecting the dots?
Yeah, the DOTS plan there.
Okay. Does it say dot? Oh, the IEP
training, yeah.
Before students are connecting the dots is about the fact that before students are eligible for special education services, we have to evaluate them. So there are many evaluation components, and you kind of connect each dot together to develop and decide if a student is eligible for special education services. And that information serves the next component, which is if they are eligible, you develop the IEP and IEP goals, accommodations. And so every single piece is sort of like connecting the dot because it comes from something that was shared or evaluated before we can come up with that plan.
One thing that stuck out to me from Ms. Hunter's letter or conversation was just that she felt that the central office didn't communicate or didn't invite the teachers into the decision regarding the science and social studies. And what is your response to
Sure.
that? Were they invited into the decision-making process?
Sure. So it really kind of started with working with the building leadership and identifying that there are many students that are in self-contained settings and not necessarily having a full access to general education curriculum. Looking at that component, then we scheduled meetings in middle school with the teachers and discussed that fact, and also the fact that when students come from elementary setting in K through 5th grade, there are no self-contained options for them for science and social studies. So they are receiving that instruction, that content within general education setting. So then the thought was that that's all they know. They have not been in a self-contained setting. So as they transition to middle school for 6th grade in particular, this would be to provide them with support, meaning having co-teaching options for both science and social studies, but not having a self-contained type of classroom, which is more restrictive. And since then, we have, like I said, each building, we have scheduled multiple meetings to kind of plan that process and have included the teachers in the conversation. But the initial thought about transitioning and providing less restrictive options for our students and more access to general education did stem from just the review of how we are providing services.
So maybe I'm not grasping it, and we're a little late to this discussion, but, so are we getting rid of social studies and science for our?
No. They are, right now, they are in what's called a self-contained classroom.
But there's different levels of special
Right.
education, so not all kids are self-contained.
Correct. So the ones that were not self-contained will continue within general education. We also have resource students from elementary school transitioning next year to middle school, and these students have only been exposed to science and social studies in general education. So this group of students, when they transition to both middle schools, would have the option to be in a co-teaching class for science and for social studies. So we're not eliminating any of the content. It would just provide them to be with their grade level general education peers when they are receiving that instruction. And special education teacher would be the co-teacher for science and social studies. So the support would be provided. For each class, there would be 2 teachers essentially.
Thank you.
Which we're still providing.
Any other questions for Ms. Fabianchek on the special education update?
Do you have an acronyms key?
I know. It is needed, and we can work on that for you as well.
What was SEED again?
Our SEED is social, emotional, and executive functions development.
Thank you, okay.
So we actually have the acronym cheat sheet that is going to be posted on the website, and an explanation. So the committee that I mentioned that is posting on the webpage, we also have an explanation for what each program sort of does in terms of supporting students. So that just
Anticipating
has
the
not
need.
been published.
Great,
Yeah.
great, thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Fabianchek. That is all I have for administrative reports, unless anybody has any questions on any of the items under admin reports, other than what we just went through. All right.
Okay, at this time, we're going to go back into closed executive session. So do I have a motion and a second to go back into closed executive session regarding Section 2, Heading Z, Exceptions Sub Number 1 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of a public body or legal counsel for the public body, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or the representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees and student disciplinary classes.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, Member Piggy made the motion. Member Dieselmeyer seconded the motion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Haupt.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay.
There is nothing after, Ms. Ellie. Thank you so much.